was very insidious.
A very insidious red door, if you will.
The red door.
The red
if you
door.
will.
The one and only.
Well, we did see Insidious: The Red Door. Today.
Yes.
It is the latest in the Insidious franchise, the beloved horror franchise.
5 movies in.
Nobody knows that though.
Yeah.
But most people listen to third Insidious.
Most people, because we had Insidious 1,
Yeah.
2011,
Classic.
James 1,
Yeah.
a James 1 joint,
Yeah.
right, boom, great. Then we had Insidious 2.
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2 in 2013.
Yeah,
You know what's insane?
What?
Insidious 2 and The Conjuring came out like within a month of each other.
James Wan was in his like hype era.
How insane is that?
He was built different.
And both of them have Patrick Wilson in it.
That's sick.
That's so like,
gotta love him.
like how the fuck did that work?
He's
Like,
so cool.
So we had that.
Yeah.
2013.
Yeah.
And then that family, the Lambert family.
Yeah.
I remembered that.
No, I didn't.
The family pushed them to one side.
Yeah.
This time we're gonna focus on the old one.
Ignoring the fact that Insidious Chapter 2 ends on a cliffhanger.
Ends on a cliffhanger. That's fine.
Fuck that noise.
Fuck that. We're gonna focus on the old lady.
Yeah.
What's her name?
What is her name? At least.
Yeah.
Potentially.
The one who's like a spirit medium, whatever.
Yeah. She's in a YouTube video in this one.
we focus on her in chapter 3 and chapter 4. Wait, it's not called chapter 4 though. It's called The Last Key.
Why? Okay.
One more.
See, you know what I would have preferred? So Insidious 1, Insidious Chapter 2, Insidious Chapter 0, Insidious 358 over 2 days. Sorry, Insidious Chapter 0.5, Insidious Chapter 3.
See, you know what I would have preferred with Insidious Red Door?
Yeah.
For it to be a good movie.
Zing!
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Insidious, the Red Door, formerly known as Insidious Fear the Dark.
Because he's scared of the dark, even though he spends the majority of the film sitting in fucking pitch black.
Yes!
The fucking idiot.
Yeah, Insidious the Red Door.
It's the Top Gun Maverick of Insidious films.
Directed by Patrick Wilson.
He's a one-man sensation.
He directed.
Yeah.
He starred.
Yeah.
Didn't write it.
That's too much for him. So instead...
instead of writing, he went, you know what? I'm going to do the song for it. I'm going to sing. I'm going to do a diss track. I'm going to sing for Insidious The Red Door.
Slapping in the post-credits.
Credit scene. Fuck it. Here's my track.
Yeah.
A Patrick Wilson beat.
It would have been so sick if the post-credit scene was Patrick Wilson meeting Patrick Wilson in The Conjuring. That would have been so sick.
Why haven't they done that?
No, exactly.
Why haven't they acknowledged
it?
Why, at the very least, why doesn't they acknowledge that Insidious is in the same universe?
Yeah, that would be sick as fuck.
Or like just do a thing with like Insidious where like someone has like a poster of The Conjuring in the room.
Yeah.
Like something like that would have been so cute.
This is missing like fun. This film generally.
Yeah. You see, there's a big problem
with
these Insidious movies. And there's like a James Wan size like elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Where when these films are directed by James Wan, I think these are really fun and they're really silly and they throw a lot of stuff at the wall and it's just fun.
Yeah.
They're really fun times. But then when James Wan isn't there.
Yeah.
See, like these films lack something. It's like the same thing happened with Conjuring.
Yeah.
Now granted, Conjuring 3, which was directed by the guy who done like The Curse of La Llorona, which is like the worst Conjuring spin-off.
Nice.
Like he did Conjuring 3.
Yeah.
And it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's alright, but nowhere near
the
first like 2 Conjuring movies, which I think are great.
I think part of the problem with Insidious is like a franchise. Is it's not a very interesting one.
Well,
like the
that's
law,
the thing. Yeah.
The law is. Well, there isn't any.
Well, that's the problem. Is like with The Conjuring, there is so much you can do with that.
Yeah.
Because you base it off the case files of Ed Ray Warren, and you just do fucking X-Files.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a case. Oh, that's spooky.
Yeah.
Let's make a movie about it, and then you can create new monsters, which is what those films do. And they go, fuck it, let's make a spin-off for it. There is so much you can do with Conjuring, which is why like that franchise is like, while a lot of them that aren't the mainline films have been shite.
Yeah.
Like, they've managed to stay. Whereas I think with Insidious, because it's completely original, right? And it's like, and that's the problem, is like, they've made this law of the further, which is cool. Great start. The first one, and even the second one, they're good starts.
Yeah.
Especially because the second one takes place immediately after.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's like, so it makes sense that the law is totally fleshed out, because those films are kind of one movie.
Yeah.
In a way. But the problem is that even when they did Chapter 3, now granted, I've not seen The Last Key. The Last Key may hold the key, if you will, to giving it, fucking tons and tons of lore. But from Chapter 3, I remember watching it and I was like, this isn't terrible, but they haven't really, considering this was a prequel, all it really did was set up how the old lady became friends with the paranormal, like, YouTubers. The
fucking Avengers.
Those people. Specs and whatever. Like, that's kind of what that does. It more so establishes them, which is fine. But then, so much of these films now revolve around, we gotta go into the further. Yeah. You go into the further, and then nothing is new. There's nothing, like, these films, there's nothing new. There's nothing, they can't provide anything.
So uninteresting. Yeah. What the fuck's in the further? Some demons. Who the
Ghouls.
fuck are these demons? Yeah, just it's a red man who just fucking and it's the biggest thing the red man does in this film. He sticks his head through a door. Yeah, he just goes, "Ooh,
and
hello."
That's, you see, now this is the thing, right?
Yeah.
This is set what, like 9 years?
9 years.
9 years, but I'm pretty sure, right, that Patrick Wilson says something about he makes it out like it was 10 years. And I don't know whether that was a mistake or if maybe when they say, because there is that year, I guess he means 10 years is including the year of, I don't know, like there's this weird thing where like he said like if there was like one time where like he's having an argument with Rose Byrne, who does nothing in this movie. Yeah. Where he's having an argument and he goes like, for 10 years. I'm like, I thought this was.
Okay, so it's set
9 years.
See, it's weird because it's set 9 years after the last one. Mm-hmm. It's been 10 years in like real life.
Mm-hmm. So, the IRL.
So it's obviously a creative choice.
Yeah.
Why?
To make it 9 instead of 10. So it's like Patrick Wilson read the script and was like, this is all fine. I just have a really quick note. Let's not make it 10. Right, look, everyone goes for 10, right? Everyone goes for 10, right? Listen to this. He's smoking a blunt while he says this, and he's like, it's making 9. 9 years. We could be so unique.
Subverting expectations.
This takes place 9 years.
Why? Why the fuck does this? Who cares?
Because Insidious, we have to go back into the further.
That's the further's just so like any time we went into the fucking further and it was like, ooh, it's blue now.
And that's the problem with the film, is it's really uninteresting. But I think what makes this particularly heartbreaking is I think for the first 20 minutes or so, I think it's like actually really, really good.
Okay, and I don't get the rules of Insidious.
Okay.
Why the fuck are the demons there when he's awake?
Because spooky.
It's
scary.
Good point.
It's scary. Are you telling me you're not scared when you see a ghoul? Like,
because like at the beginning of the film, there's like the demon in the car. Why? Because he's not asleep then.
Scary.
He's just in a car.
Scary.
Good point.
It's pretty scary.
Ghouls and goblins.
Look, it's pretty scary. But like, the first like 20 minutes, right? Okay, the cold open of the movie, which is at a funeral.
Yeah.
First off, great shot. With the way the camera, like...
Oh, yeah, no, that was proper discombobulating.
That was fucking me up. But I was like, that's cool. Yeah, I liked that one a lot. And then there's a really cool, like, moment where Patrick Wilson is in the car. And he's trying to talk to his son, who's now like a brooding 18-year-old. He's like, I fucking hate you, Dad.
He was in Iron Man 3.
Yeah, he was. And he disappeared for a while. Then he showed up in Endgame, and I was like, and no one recognized him because he got old.
And now he's in Insidious 5.
Yeah. He has a very strange face, that guy. Because he still looks like a kid, kind of. He still has the kid face.
He looks exactly the same in his face.
But he's old. I was like buff and taller, so it's like you have a kid face and the body of like a 35-year-old. But yeah, like so there's like a scene where like Patrick Wilson is like, he's like debating, like he's like trying to like text his son like, hey, like I'll drive you to college because he's going to college, and like Patrick Wilson's like, like should I do it? It's better like when like you're trying to talk to like a girl that you like, so it's a bit weird because like that's your son, but during that,
hey bud,
but during that, in the background, very faintly, you can see someone approaching the car, and I think what I really like about that scene is that I'd say for about half of it, you don't know that if there's something there, but you can sort of see something, and it's like, and slowly but surely you make the realization of that's something, and it's getting closer. And I thought that was a fantastic scene, especially because of how subtle it is at first.
Oh yeah, no.
Because
definitely.
you just see the wind swaying, and you see like something that's like coloured, but you don't think anything of it, and then. The only thing I don't like in that scene is when it goes away, you hear a boom, and I'm like, they shouldn't have done that,
that's
because
my
I
problem
think
with all the scares in this film.
Yeah.
Like I was jumping out my seat, right?
Yeah, but
I was jumping because they were going. Boom!
Yeah, it's like, it's like you jump, but you don't think about it afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
No, exactly, and then
On
like
to the next one.
the second because they kind of halfway through take away the sound effect.
Yeah.
I guess because Patrick Wilson was starting to go, ooh, there's a bit of a pussy move.
Yeah, because that's the thing in that scene, I didn't like that sound effect. It wasn't enough to like maybe hate the scene, but I was kind of like, I get why he did it. It was so, it kind of goes like, okay, no, you did see something, but I kind of like the idea of, you didn't.
Well, no, it's the thing.
You're not sure. It's like, you like that scene ends,
Yes.
and it's like, you weren't sure if you saw something or not. It immediately unsettles you. It's like, like, did I see something or not? I think the problem is that kind of scare, it does like 3 times, including that one.
Well, there's the one where he's playing like the matching game.
Yeah.
But then that one ends really fucking not anticlimactic.
That was dumb because then that person just fucking flies through a window. It's just like, that's shit. Like, but then. But again, like in like the first 20 minutes, I'm like, this is actually really good. I think like it was moving quite quick. I liked the scene when Patrick Wilson and the kid having an argument. Yeah. And I thought that scene was quite well done. It wasn't like the best written, but it was like fine. It was okay. I get it. I can see what you're doing, and it was fine. But then there's a scene where Patrick Wilson. Most of this film is Patrick Wilson trying to investigate like, I'm insane, so I need to find out why.
This
why am I crazy?
Really weird. I don't know why, but every time Patrick Wilson like said anything, I was like, "You are directing this film," and it just felt really weird. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
It's very much like the actor-director movie. He's acting, but then you know for a fact, so like once he's done that scene, he gets those headphones on, he goes like director mode. Like he gets the director head on.
There's no other film where I've noticed that is like in much as this, where it's like you are directing this movie.
You are also the director.
Yeah.
And it's like, but yeah, like so
you can tell because you can tell like when like coming up with this film, he was like, no, I'm the nice guy. I want my character to be at his lowest moment. He's divorced. You know what I mean? I don't want to make this film and look like I think super highly of myself.
It's a bit like how in Star Trek Beyond. Yeah. How Simon Pegg. Yeah. They co-wrote that movie. Yeah. And you can tell because Simon Pegg's character does all of these cool things. Yeah. So it's like you definitely wrote this.
Exactly.
Like
at the end of this fucking film, when like Patrick Wilson is like at the door and he's like, I need to. This is my fight. You weren't in the fucking film. Yeah. No. So this is the central problem with Patrick Wilson's like character in the movie. Yeah. Is like in the first 20 minutes, he does a lot and his scenes are like great. Like there's a sequence in like an ICU. Like unit where like he's in like this machine and all these noises are going on and there's all the lights and then it turns off. Yeah. And what I really like about that scene is it reminds me a lot of James Wan because it's that thing of you know there's a jump scare coming. Yeah. But one of the things that's great about James Wan is how he's able to make you kind of simmer and wait for it, and that creates a lot of the fear comes from like the anticipation. Yeah. And it's that thing of it's why I think like James Wan transitions to action really well. Is because James Wan knows how to do a set piece. Yeah. And for him in horror, the jump scare is a set piece. Yeah. Where it's like and what's interesting about it is like in those films, the jump scare is like
that's like the grand finale. But what makes that really exciting is how he's able to make you kind of unnerved.
Yeah.
And that's why those jump scares, yes, they're jump scares, but they're really effective because it's what he does in the build up to that that makes it scary. It's not just someone's just sitting there then just ooga booga, like it's they were like, now there's a spooky thing. It's like, no, it's like he makes you sit there. And there's a bit of that in this, especially in like some of those scenes in the beginning, and it's like, and that scene in the ICU is genuinely really great. Like it's really well done, especially like in that scene when like above Patrick Wilson there's like someone there and you can see like the hands, like that's really well done, and like him sort of looking around like knowing there's something there. It's a really well done scene, and it's like, but then the problem is basically after that entire sequence the film never does that again, or anything even to that same level of quality, because what it does then is it goes for the same traditional scares of ooh, spooky demon, like whoa, like this place looks a bit spooky, and it's like
none of the demons do.
No,
but especially, and I mean, I think this is the big problem with all the scares post that sequence, especially when they take out the sound effect. The demons themselves aren't scary.
They're not scary, and they're very samey. Yeah, because it's a lot of like CGI.
Yeah, so when it pans to a demon, it's just a goofy little goober.
It's just and it's like and they've like CGI'd them, and they've all got like, and it's like, but because one scene I really liked near the end is when like the roommate to the kid who
she's gonna kick that dick.
She's awful.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the actress, it's the character.
It's a character.
The character's awful.
Yeah.
It does nothing
except
other than
say,
just
like,
be comic relief.
Irritating one-liners.
Yeah. But there's a scene where she's like doing the lights.
Yeah.
And someone's like next to her. And while that's going on, she's trying to do it, and you think and it's like you can sort of tell that the person next to her isn't doing great. Definitely a demon of some sort.
That was pretty
funny. But it's like one of them where like each time like she's putting the lights on and you see like he looks normal, but then she keeps doing it and then his face changes.
Yeah.
And I really liked that one because again it reminds me of James Wan.
Yeah.
And it was that kind of thing but it was different sort of. It was like that was genuinely kind of creepy, and it was like fun, and it was like, and it was unique. Yeah. And it wasn't just I'm in this room and it's dark and then and then it's like, no, it was an actual like fun scare that wasn't relying on a jump scare. It was relying on like a chill. Yeah. There was like a chill down, just like, oh shit, like it was like they're more interesting.
Oh, absolutely.
They always could be more interesting scares, and I'm not like as against jump scares as a lot of people are. I think some people hate on them too much. Yeah. Because some of them are lazy. But if you have a good jump scare, that's like they can be fucking effective.
Oh, absolutely.
There are some fantastic jump scares, and it's like, because a jump scare isn't just throwing a finger at the wall and being like, oh, like that's scary. Like, no, it's how you can build to that. Yeah. And it's like, the problem with this is this movie feels tired. Yeah. And a lot of it is because of the scares. Yeah. The scares feel tired, and it's this weird thing where like Insidious, in a way, is trying to play catch up. Yeah. Which is strange, because in some ways Insidious was kind of ahead of its time. Because when it came out, it was at a time when most horror movies were fucking dog shit. Like most of them were pretty terrible. Like the studio ones, like specifically, were really bad. But it like here's Insidious, that's like a fucking haunted house ride, and it's really fucking scary. And okay, yeah, it wasn't like totally innovative, or like it's like fucking Avatar. It wasn't like that kind of level of innovation, but it was unique. Yeah. And it was different, and it was sort of paving the way. And in this one, they've decided to inject it with, it's about trauma.
Yeah.
And they've done that, and then it was like, oh, for fuck's sake, like now you're playing catch up with all of the other movies that have released. Yeah. Now, where it's all about trauma. And obviously exploring trauma within horror is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with doing that. The problem is that a lot of these movies now are exploring it in the stupidest fucking ways possible. Yeah. And it feels like a parody. Yeah. Like, there's a scene in this where, they go, where like a character literally goes like we have to remember the trauma. We have to remember it. And it's like, fuck off, man. Yeah. Like, it's just like, come on. Yeah. Like, and it's like, it's this weird thing with the film does feel like it's playing catch up with itself. Oh yeah. And it's like, and it's a shame, because as well as that, it's also trying to be the grand finale to Insidious, and it does so in a way that feels incredibly anticlimactic.
Yeah.
And the last
the climax is dreadful.
The third act is dog shit, and
Yeah.
like the last like 20 minutes or so are genuinely so anticlimactic. It is laughable.
That ending.
Like I can't believe how anticlimactic.
There's a cameo at the ending which is just mad. Like
literally, Andrew Garfield shows up at the end,
and Tobey Maguire.
and they show up. I cheers.
But no, I mean, it's just weird. Like the whole ending feels like a dream sequence to the point where I thought it was going to be revealed that someone died.
Yeah.
But then it just kind of ends.
No, the movie just kind of the movie's weird because it's like it doesn't really provide anything.
Yeah.
It's this strange like movie of like I don't really know what the point of this was.
Yeah.
Other than just bringing the family back, because nothing really.
If anything,
doesn't do anything.
If anything, it undoes the better ending of 2.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, then what's the point?
Yeah. It's like this. It's like I don't. What did we learn? Because we learned nothing new about the father.
Oh yeah.
Nothing new about that. We don't learn anything
I
really.
actually learned who his dad is. His dad was one of the demons all along. Because
Yeah.
that was the same demon in the first 2 films, right? The one who's like.
Yeah, it's all like the photos and stuff. Yeah, like the old woman.
Well, no, not the old woman. I mean the guy. Who's
yeah.
The dad. Yeah.
It's like, but even that's like.
So that's a shit. I mean, I don't really.
But it's just stupid. It's like I'm not like. It's like, but again, you're not really. It's like that doesn't really change anything.
That didn't need to be a
film.
If anything, that would have. I mean, the story they tell of him like jumping off the mental hospital or whatever. That would have been a more interesting film.
Yeah, maybe like a spin-off.
Yeah, like
maybe like a totally separate thing, and maybe maybe you reveal at the end that that character was the dad.
We didn't need to go back to fucking the Lambert family again to do
it's like, oh, they've divorced. Rose Byrne, who's like in this like a shot, like she's barely in it.
Yeah, like
I was shocked at that. I honestly thought she was gonna have a much bigger role in it. I was surprised at that. Especially because I think what made Insidious work was that kind of, it's similar to Poltergeist a little bit, where it was like the family relationship.
Rose Byrne's, arguably the main character of the first film.
Exactly. And in this, arguably of the first 2, she is the main.
Yeah.
Especially the second one, when it's like she's, the fucking Patrick Wilson's practically the villain in that.
Yeah.
And it's like she is really, she's the main, and it's like to have her sidelined. It's like, okay, I get if she doesn't have the main role. Yeah. But I think to sideline it, I thought was really like, I just found it a bit stupid. It was like you've sidelined arguably one of the better characters of the series who isn't dead. And it's like, oh, okay. It's a shame because it's like you could have done something there, but it's just like it's weird where like so much of it is about the family. Yeah. And yet the family are barely in it.
Yeah.
The wider family.
Well, it's more about fucking Dalton in an apartment complex.
Yeah.
Like in his fucking student accom.
Yeah.
Which I guess is, I mean, I quite like the idea of a fucking possession type film in a student accom, but then this isn't really that either.
But it barely does anything with that.
Yeah.
Like in any substantial way. It's like, oh, okay.
So it ends up being a really fucking disappointing horror film.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that's the main flaw of it. It is just ultimately a really dull horror movie. Yeah, and it's a shame because there was potential there, and it does occasionally tap into that. But overall, it's like it's 20 minutes of a decent movie trapped in like a 100-minute kind of boring mess.
Yeah.